Good evening. Don't try and adjust your set. You are now entering the Twilight Zone. Anyway, this is our poetry slam for March, and we're going to start off with Rob St. Germain.
Okay, hello. I got 3 poems to share. This first one's called Ode to Spring. Here we go. Ode to Spring. In the streets I'm starting to see puddles and slush. The air seems a bit more warm and soothes my soul. I'm looking forward to enjoying my favorite spring jacket. People seem more happy and upbeat. The birds sing their cheery song as I move along. I wait for the bus, watching cars come and go, looking forward to saying goodbye to the snow. The green grass will be pleasing to the eye under a blue sky. That's it for that one. This one's called a tiger. You know, a tiger. You're a humongous cat. How cool is that? You can swallow me whole, but is that your goal? Your eyes like shining stars, and are beautiful wherever you are. You have so much power in the palm of your hand. You are like a ruler in your land. Your colors are stripes, catch the eye, and you'll be free to the day that you die. Your whiskers are like antennas catching waves. You have to obey, and you don't have to behave. That's that one. This one's called Darkness. Okay, here you go, Darkness. There is some darkness in my heart, yet it doesn't tear me apart. Sunset is beautiful like a starry night. There's no need to worry or fight. The summer wind blows through my hair, and it gives me a break from my despair. At midnight, I sit by the river and as I watch the waves crash into the shore. Life seems like less of a chore. The chirping crickets fills my ears. Now my body is drained of all fear. I hope that the night will never end, for the night has a message to send. There you go.
Big thanks to Rob St. Germain. Round of snaps for Rob. That was ghoulish as usual. And next up, we have Rob's better half, Cassandra Coulee.
All right, hello. I've got 3 poems to share with you today. First one is called Memory. Memory can close over you like a wave as you try to think thoughts that save because you are afraid to suffocate. The experience of trauma can make you feel displaced, as if you cannot overcome what you have already survived, as if you are held hostage to pure horror, the fear, the pain, and confusion you have kept inside. Memory defines us. The acknowledgement of your past is also an acknowledgement that you have left it behind. But knowing what you have been through is a key part of what makes you you. Pleasant memories can fulfill and inspire. They can bring us closer to the existence we desire. They can help us to believe in what we are worth and help us to experience renewal and rebirth. Memory is something we can turn away from, but we cannot escape. It is not always a lovely stroll down memory lane. Reminiscence can be a conscious act, weaving together our stories as we choose to look back. Other memories are involuntary and cannot be stopped. We are triggered by everything and everyone. Our dreams are dark and heavy to our psyche, and without help, we continue to drown. Memories can break us unless we find a way to let go and to make peace with what we know. Thank you. This one is called Out of Body. A whisper in the night, my imagination takes flight. A fever dream, not everything is as it seems. Another dimension opens in front of me. I am not afraid. I was born of this place, a fantasy of the Creator, a land of shadows that may be my destination someday. Astral travel through parallel worlds, die to one reality and awaken to another. Mysticism is a force that possesses you like a lover. Overwhelmed with a sense of wonder, before I was born, did I belong here? What a relief to let go of the things I held so dear, and exist as pure spirit, to need no creature comforts, to be one with the universe. This is such a powerful experience. I feel like I never want to return to my body. its mass and aches, its pain and stiffness. How beautiful it is to live with unadulterated intention, a spiritual communion with the energy and intelligence that expired all existence. How hard it is to come back to this. Time and space are so limited. Everything has a consequence. There are so many problems that we cannot rise above. It is like falling out of eternity with a thud. Which reality is the one that counts, the temporal or the infinite, of suffering or of freedom? Or are we hybrid beings needing both for meaning? Thank you. Okay, this is my last one, and it's called Slip. Things slip through my hands. Life makes so many demands. The sands of time move through an hourglass, finite but infinite by repetition, each day unique but subject to revision. Every moment leading to decision, and some decisions seem to be so wrong, teaching you to let go of the past and carry on. You did your best with what you knew. If you don't release the regret, bad decisions will bury you. No one has a crystal ball, vague shadows that foreshadow the future. Sometimes you can't avoid the hurt. Consequences visit like plagues that can only be endured. Forward and forward, people slip through my hands like water, existing only in my memory. People I've loved have ghosted me, and from that pain I will never be free. I leave it to the past, I leave it to the breeze. New stages of my life will soon appear. Although I've gone through torment, I still can't buckle under fear. So many times I've asked, what will I do without you? It took a lot of loneliness to get stronger, to survive a little longer, to clear my life of bad influences as much as I can. Things slip through my hands, even ones that were precious to me, and all I can do is watch them fade or let them leave. There's no use in clinging to someone who will not cling to me. Thank you.
Wow, good work, Cassandra. That was a lot of calming words. Wise and always. Our last and third poet coming up today is James Adamson.
So I could have chosen a couple others too, but I'm long-winded enough. So this one is sort of thematic, you know. It's almost story-like a little bit, eh? It's called The Security Guard, and all my poems to the glory of God and devoted with love. Thank you. It was a dark summer night. Festivity was in the air. A man came to the entrance. Another man stood against him and told him he wasn't allowed in. As he told of the injustice of his limited freedoms, people gathered to hear him. As he talked, a bird landed near him, and he suddenly found more interest in the beauty of nature than in his own words. The people stayed in line to enter the place he wasn't allowed into. Another man was about to enter, but he wasn't allowed either. As he stood there, he noticed the brooch that his wife was wearing, even though he had given it to her years ago. A woman tried to enter, but as she neared the threshold, her friend's dress seemed to offer some interest, and she just wandered away. Nearby, a man yelled out, "There's no way your world will be allowed anyway." But she hardly noticed. As things developed, a world where people were robbed of their rights and freedoms developed. But the security guard kept turning people away. Some people wondered who it was who was allowed to go in. They tried to see through the window on the door because that window was on top of the stairs. The rest were too high to see into. The more things progressed, the more people gathered around. Their own society evolved. No one even noticed. And no one had ever seen a society develop the likes of that. They brought tables and chairs, they laughed and had fun. Some people got drunk or whatever, or what have you. The world became more beautiful than any of them had ever known. The sun rose in the morning and breakfast was served. There was even a flux of people. They even made up a new word for society. They even knew when a foreigner was in their midst. They welcomed them with smiles and open arms. They learned more about themselves. The people began to look down their noses at them. No one understood why anyone would be angry at them. All along, people were making all sorts of art, music, poetry, novels, paintings, sculptures, architectural designs. It seemed they had developed an identity. They formed in an organic way, but that was about a higher force. In the middle of their world was people just trying to be good to each other. The walls also grew. They grew from the art they made and liked to share. The place they weren't allowed to go into was suddenly open. The walls inside were blank. They saw that at one time there must have been an art show in there, but now there was nothing to see. As they looked out the door window, they saw a security guard. He was turning people away from their place. The place was owned by no one in particular, but suddenly no one was allowed to learn about that world. That started with the courage to notice the little things about life. A bird and a brooch were suddenly too much freedom, simply because people wanted to see. This one's called Her Form. The human form gives light and shape to mystery. Those who make us see that awaken us. They bring us to life, they bring us to light. A journey of surprise and wonder unfolds as if it was meant to be, because light has power unlimited. Light forming an embryo of darkness, and mystery comes to life. And suddenly light is folded in on itself like a great and certain ride. Light and a sure power are the same thing. Grace is the dance unfolding light that spins into its smallest parts and bursts forth with crying and wonder and joy into further light. We hold explosions in our arms. We even hold them in our minds, watching it escape all over again, leaving to travel in a dot of light in the night sky, a irony of such vast darkness that we look at with wonder, with tiny moments. We know trust because we touch it and hold it. No pain or injury means you don't. Yet awakenings are the ability to let go and accept pain, to care about the world, to go into submission to the world. We watch those yet to find their way with hope, already knowing the light being swallowed by the dark if we can be honest with ourselves, yet knowing the light is the only existence. While point counterpoint with darkness, while mystery is the just name for the darkness, it's the ability to travel because of the certainty of creation. To look and to find are the same thing. Looking for something, finding out we already knew what it was when we found it. So many words for that which we can't see. So many arms reaching to say we know. To talk about snow and igloos as if snow and darkness were the same language. To transverse and look with our bare hands into great effort to make our substance seen, as light forever makes things real and manifest, knowing you will never see substance, yet find the greatest education it offers. The courage to love and touch, teach, learn, and educate, to make mistakes become the greatest explosion, to teach all we have is to strive to give, not always getting what we want, but living to know and be known. The most fleeting smile is great volumes of effort to describe. A pen dancing over a page, an athlete or anything, telling others of a need to explode, people gathering to fall in love, chancing onto the infinitely small, and to set it as free as a new day.
Thank you so much, Sir James. Well, that's our poetry slam for March. Thank you, Cassandra, Rob, and James. Thank you so much for coming out. Tune in next month, same bad time, same bad channel.
He's batty, so.
Batman.